Hello again. Many people were outraged when the city of Los Angeles paid more than $1 million to help facilitate Michael Jackson's funeral. Well, today the city of Glendale said the Jackson family will foot the bill for his burial. The family must cover the cost for city police and other public services. Also, word today that Jackson's doctor, Conrad Murray, will be arrested within the next 2 weeks and charged with manslaughter. LA detectives want to execute one more search warrant before the arrest. Last night, Cameron Turner was with us and said the doctor should be arrested. But Michael Jackson shares some of the guilt.
Michael Jackson was a tragic figure. It's pretty clear he was a drug abuser. He was active in his drug abuse. He was not held down and forced to ingest these dangerous chemicals and was somehow. So whatever Dr. Murray may be guilty of, and we'll find out when this thing moves there legally, Michael Jackson was a full participant, an active participant in his own destruction.
Our contributors tonight, radio talk show host and civil rights attorney Leo Terrell. Leo, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Fred.
And nationally syndicated columnist Amy Alkon. You can read her work.
Hey, Fred.
Hey, Amy, at advicegoddess.com, and you can read her here. Amy's the author of an upcoming book, I See Rude People, due to hit the shelves in November. All right, Amy, I'm going to start with you. You heard Cameron. Did he have a point? Is Michael Jackson also guilty here?
Yes, and he's absolutely right. And this is especially odious because Michael Jackson has 3 children, and being a celebrity is being a large child who shaves. And so you have to know that as a celebrity and know that people will enable you and take responsibility for yourself.
Leo, is the public, though, looking for a villain in this case? Does someone have to pay?
Yes, Fred. The public demands a villain. The district attorney must deliver a villain, and it happens to be Conrad Murray. And I disagree with Amy. Doctors are held to a standard. When patients want illegal drugs, doctors have an obligation to say no. Murray broke his ethical obligation not to deny Michael Jackson these drugs. He should be prosecuted.
Oh, I totally agree with you. But actually, the stated reason, he said he gave him the drug to sleep. He didn't. He gave him the drug because he's a suck-up, and he wanted to be liked. He wanted to be kept on by Michael Jackson. So I agree with you.
That's the problem. The problem is you said you blame Michael Jackson. You cannot blame a patient. The doctor has the responsibility to do the Well, you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong because Dr. Murray should not have done so.
No, but he shouldn't. But you know what? I can also walk down to the hood and get crack. Now, if I take crack, is it the crack dealer's fault or is it my fault?
Excuse me. For you to equate a crack dealer to a doctor licensed by the state is an embarrassment. That is absolutely wrong. Dr. Murray has a responsibility.
Leo, but you know what I think, Amy, hold on a second here. Leo, I think what Amy is saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, Amy, is that Michael Jackson has to share some of the responsibility here. I understand the doctor gave him the drugs, but Michael Jackson knew that he was medicating himself. He knew he was unhappy. He knew what he was doing, Leo.
Well, I don't dispute that, Fred, but as far as the responsibility of administering the drug, Michael Jackson couldn't administer the drug without the assistance of a doctor. And that's why we hold doctors to a high standard, Fred.
This is a little naive. This is a little naive. I can't, if I want any kind of drug, there are these doctors who are pill pushers. I can get a doctor to prescribe what I want.
Why do you equate a doctor to a dope pusher?
All right.
It's outrageous. Because they are.
They're not.
They're not. All right. You know what? I'm going to take the last word on this because I want to move on. But I will say this, that, I think there are doctors that will write you a script for almost anything. I do believe that. But when they cross that line, Amy, I really think that they have committed a crime. They know they've crossed that line, and then they are responsible, but I also believe that the person who is asking for the medication is responsible as well. Let's move on. Hot button story today. In May of 2008, the state Supreme Court gave same-sex couples the right to marry. In November, that was overturned when 52% voted on a ballot initiative defining marriage as the union between a man and a woman. Today, a federal judge scheduled a trial for January 11th on the constitutionality of California's voter-approved ban on same-sex marriage. First trial on that issue in any U.S. court. It contends that Prop 8 violates gays and lesbians' rights to equality under the law. Leo, you're the attorney. Using that argument, is there a case?
Yes. Equal protection under the laws. Gays have the same opportunities and the same rights to be married, and to discriminate against them by denying them the right to marriage is wrong. I am proud that the federal court is protecting the rights of gays because sometimes, Fred, popular vote sometimes ignore the rights of the Constitution, and that's what the courts are there for, to protect minority rights.
And I don't disagree with Leo at all. You know, we could all vote to deport anybody of Korean extraction or vote that you have to eat pancakes at every meal. The Constitution is supposed to protect all of us. And if you're two boys, I mean, you're not excluded. You shouldn't be excluded. This is totally wrong, this Prop 8.
But then why in the world, and let me just ask this, then why in the world are we even voting on this? I mean, if something's going to go onto the ballot and the people are going to vote, and there's always a possibility that that vote's going to be overturned, then why are we wasting the time voting in the first place?
It shouldn't have been on the ballot. It shouldn't have been on the ballot. And the reason it was, can I just tell you, it's because these people, the Bible thumpers, are so terrified. They picture gay people, and they see two gay guys running through West Hollywood with those pants with the butt circles cut out. And I'm sorry, gay parents are just as boring. No, gay parents are just as boring as straight parents, and they deserve to have protections and the same ones that straight parents have, and so do their children.
Fred, for a different reason. It's called checks and balances. The people have the right to vote, but the courts have the right to check to see if the people's will is correct and consistent. I believe in checks and balances, so I'm not going to take away a person's right to vote one way or another, but the courts are there as a referee to make sure that there's consistency with the Constitution.